In this video, we are going to discuss how to secure your Odoo 13 database. It is important to make sure that your data is safe in Odoo and there is proper isolation between customer databases running on same cluster. So no access must be possible from one database to another, and we need to make best practice in terms of users, passwords, access control, management. Now let us see some key points to secure your Odoo 13 database. Set a strong superadmin password and restrict access to the database management pages as soon as the system is set up. Then unique logins and strong passwords. So logins must be unique and you need to set strong passwords for all admin accounts on all databases. Then better not to install demo data. It may contain default logins and password which is not secure to use. Then make sure the PostgreSQL database user is not a super user, and use database filter to restrict the visibility of your databases according to the host name. So we will discuss about database filter later. Now let us move to the configuration. How to configure in order to secure our database. For that we need to take the case of 3 configuration files: Odoo configuration file, then PGHPA, then PostgreSQL. So first of all, let us see the configuration of Odoo configuration file. In that we need to make some database settings. For that, let us see what happens inside this Odoo configuration file. So let us open PyCharm. So here we have, so this is our configuration file and we have a database settings for this configuration file. Under that we can see an admin password. So this is a master database password and it is set up at the first boot and can be set from within the Odoo itself. So it can be used in order to manage our database, that is in order to back up our database or delete or duplicate database. To perform these operations we need a master database password. So it is a very important thing that is used to secure our database. So only having this password we can perform these operations. Then specify the database host. So DB host, where it is default value is localhost, we can change that value also. Then DB port, the database port number, it is as default, it is none, and here I have given 5432. Then the database username, if you have created a database user, then the username, you can give that username. Here it is Odoo 13. Then the database password for DB user, you can give a password for the database user. Then XML RPC port number. Then maximum number of physical connections to PostgreSQL. So you can give the value for the DB max connection. Then specify the database name and filter listed database. So DB name and DB filter. We will discuss about these two things later. Then add-ons path. This is related with the service settings. You can specify an add-ons path here. So now let us see the DB name and DB filter in our Odoo configuration file. So what is a DB filter? It is used to determine which database that should be used to load the web page. Database that should be selected based on the host name, domain that is being requested. So Odoo, as you know, it is a multi-tenant system. A single Odoo system may run and serve a number of database instances, which is not an issue for a logged in company user. So that database can be selected when logging in and can load customizations. But for non-logged users like website users or portal users, they are not bound to the database. So it is necessary to decide which database that need to be used to load the website page. So for that we use a DB filter. So the value contains a regular expression that includes the dynamically injected host name or first subdomain through which the system is being accessed. So you can see the DB filter equal to, you can see a regular expression within which we give a name. So it shows only databases matching the first subdomain. So when requests come from different hosts, so it will match, compare and match with the first subdomain, and so that particular database only will be loaded. So in this case, the starting with your company, that will only be loaded. So that database only will be loaded. Then DB name. So if you give a DB name within your configuration file, here it is your company. So that database only will be shown in the managed database. That is, that database only will be shown. Okay. Here you can see the DB name. It is false. So all the database that you have will be loaded. So before running, you need to make sure that this DB filters comment, because this will be only loaded. So let us just see all the currently existing databases. So I'm just running it. So I'm starting the service. Okay, then you can see from here, you will be able to see some database that was created before, and from here you can manage database. So if you click manage database, you can see create, restore, set master password. As I have said before, master password is necessary in order to delete or duplicate or backup a database. So from here, by clicking this, you can set a master password. So I can give a master password here. Then only I can manage the database. So I'm just moving back to the database selector. Okay. So these are the databases. Now I'm just editing this database DB name as by giving some name. Okay, I'm giving it as, so I'm giving specifically some database name, and I am restarting the service. So if you refresh this, you can see only this database that I have given in the Odoo database name, DB name, will be loaded. So this is how we can hide the database. Now I'm just leaving it as false. Okay. So DB filter, as I specified, in the case of DB filter also, what happens is that only the subdomain starting with the what we have given here will be loaded in the managed database. Suppose I am giving it as so here you can see Odoo new. This is how we can use a DB filter also. So you can understand the difference. What is the difference DB name? In the case of DB name, specifically what we have given, that only will be shown. But in the case of DB filter, it will filter according to the subdomain. Like, so here in the case of Odoo new, so what all start with this Odoo new, all that databases will be shown. So let us create a new database. Okay, I'm going to manage database and create. So in this way, you can see starting with the Odoo new, all the databases are shown. So in this way, you can filter these databases. Okay, now let us stop this. We just don't need now. Now let us continue with the remaining configuration files. So this is all about the Odoo configuration file. Okay, then we need to configure the PostgreSQL, where we need to allow TCP connection localhost on IP network. First of all, we need to do for that PGHBA configuration file and PostgreSQL configuration file. So, okay, first let us see the PGHBA configuration file. Okay, here go to your PostgreSQL folder, and from that you need to see the configuration files. Sorry. Okay, here you can see the PostgreSQL configuration file. So currently we need PGHBA configuration file. So let us open that. So in the PGHBA configuration file, you can see some IPv4 local connections and IPv6 local connections. So this is the type. So here you can add more host, then database and user, address and method. Here the method is MD5. So here you can see an address of 127.0. So this is the localhost address, and same way you can have the allow replication connections from localhost. So this is a way you can set up the PGHBA configuration file. Okay, now let us see our PostgreSQL configuration file. Okay, so in the connections and authentications, connection settings of the PostgreSQL configuration file, it contains many functions like listen address, port, max connections, super user, reserve connections, and many things. So let us go through all these functions. Okay, first of all, the listen address. So listen address by default it is localhost, and it specifies the TCP or IP address on which the server is to listen for connections from client applications. So it takes a value. Value takes a form of a comma separates list of host name or IP address. Then port, it accepts an integer value. So TCP port, so it listens on for normally 5432 by default, and this port number is used by all IP address by the what the server listens on. Then max connections, the maximum connections to server. So by default it is 100. So we can change that. Then then super user reserved connections. So we can reserve some connection super user. That is number of connections loads reserved for super users of PostgreSQL. So by default it is 3. Then it must be less than the maximum connection. You can see maximum connections. So super user reserved connections must be less than maximum connection. Then we have Unix socket directories. So this specifies a directory of Unix domain sockets on which the server is to listen for connections from client applications. So we can give multiple sockets separated by comma. Then we have Unix socket group. So it's its owning group of Unix domain sockets. Then Unix socket permissions, set of access permissions of this Unix domain sockets. So by default it is 0,777. That means anyone can connect. Then bonjour and bonjour name. So it is used to, this bonjour is used to advertise server existence So it is by default off. Then bonjour name, it specifies bonjour service, specifies bonjour service name, and if it's empty, then computer name is used. Then TCP keep alive's ID. So it is a number of seconds of inactivity of after which the TCP should end a keep alive message to the client. By default, it is 0. Then next is TCP keep alive's interval. So it specifies a number of seconds after which TCP keep alive message that is not acknowledged by the client should be retransmitted. So it is by default 0. Then next one is count. That is TCP keep alive's count. Number of TCP keep alives that can be lost before the server connection to the client is considered dead. It is also by default 0. So this is how we make connection settings. Then next we have security and authentication for PostgreSQL file. Then word authentication timeout. We can set authentication timeout, which is the maximum time to complete client authentication in seconds. So by default it is 1 minute. So within the maximum will be 1 minute by default. So within 1 minute we need to complete the authentication. Then SSL, secure socket layer, which enables SSL connection. By default it is off. So only possible with TCP connection. It is possible for SSL connection only when there is only possible with TCP connection. Then SSL CA file specifies the name of the file containing SSL server certificate certifying authority. So by default it is empty. That means no certification authority file loaded. So that is about SSL CA file. Then SSL cert file, that is the name of the file containing SSL server certificate. So by default it is server.crt. Then SSL CRF file, name of the file containing SSL server certificate revocation list. Then SSL key file. So it is a name of the file containing SSL server private key. So by default it is server.key. Then SSL ciphers. So it is a list of SSL cipher suites that are allowed to be used on secure connection. Then SSL prefer server ciphers, which is as it's a boolean value, whether to use SSL cipher preferences or not. So it is by default true, that is we need to use a cipher preferences, a cipher. Then next one is, you can see ECDH curve. So this one is related with some key exchange. Then password encryption. It determines whether password is to be encrypted or not. By default it is on. Then next one's KRB server key file. It sets the location of Kerberos server key file. Then next is Cassand's users, KRB Cassand's users. So whether usernames need to be treated case sensitive. By default it is not treated, that is the default it is off. Then DB user namespace. It enables per database username. You can create username per database. By default it is turned off. So in this way you can make security and authentication in your PostgreSQL configuration file. Now let us see how we can do this. Where we are doing this, let us see the PostgreSQL. Let's open PostgreSQL configuration file in the PyCharm. So we have that configuration file where we have the file locations. This is what we have discussed about the connections and authentication, that is important, where we can have the connection settings. This is the connection settings. Here we can add the connection settings, and okay, this is the authentication part, security and authentication part. So under connection settings, we have discussed about the connection settings, where listen address, port number, max connections, super user reserved connections, and many other things related with that. We have discussed about each parameters before. Then TCP settings also, TCP keep alives, everything we have discussed about that. Authentication part also we have just discussed. that is authentication, timeout, password encryption. I have given here MD5. So the password encryption, how we can do that. Then DB user namespace, currently it is off. Okay, that is we are not giving separately to each database. Then KRB things, KRB server, Cassins. Then SSL connection, connected with SSL connection. So you can see all the things that we have just discussed. So in this way you can secure our Odoo 13 database by using PGHP, PostgreSQL and Odoo configuration file. So that's all about security of Odoo 13 database.
If you are interested in knowing more about this or looking for any Odoo implementation or customization in your business, drop your request to info@cybrosys.com.